Alright guys, if you have a noisy computer and you want to make it quiet, this video is for you. Today we're gonna change a couple fans, including the CPU fan and the ventilation fan. The new fan I'm gonna use is the Master Cooler Hyper 212. Now, an interesting story about this fan is that after I received this one and opened the box, I realized, hey, I bought the other one like a year ago and I haven't used it yet. So now I end up with two of these fans. It's a decent price fan. First time I use it, hopefully it does what I want. Now when you handle this new fan, make sure that be careful with the heatsink. The aluminum fin is very thin, so if you're not careful you can bend it. And they give you everything you need, including the plate mounting screw and the standoff. Now when I bought this fan originally, I thought all I need to do is just pop out the old fan and pop this one in and it's all done deal. But there's a lot more work involved in that. That's why I'm making this video, so you guys can see it if it's worth your time to change to this new fan. And let me just say, the manual sucks. All they give you is just a couple drawings. This fan make for AMD and Intel chip, and I couldn't make head or tail out of it. There's no writing, so basically I kind of look at it, analyze it a little, and it's like, okay, we're just gonna wing it and see what happens. So here I'm popping out the old fan. The original fan, it came with the CPU. The old CPU that I have here is an AMD 1090. This is the machine that I built in December 2009. So it's almost 6 years old, but it's still fully functional machine. The only thing is it's so noisy. That's the reason why I'm working on it and upgrade a couple things. But other than that, it can run all the application, all the modern application that I want to work on it. But since I just built two new machines, what I'm gonna do with this old machine is gonna use it for audio workstation. None of that high definition video editing stuff. That task will be handled by my two new machines. So here it is, the old fans with the heatsink. Here's the new one. It's quite heavy, but you can handle it. So here the idea, what I wanted to do is to put the contact on the CPU and have the fan face toward the rear. That way it blow out the heat, and the other fan will extract that heat and blow it out from the box. And I also have two fans on the top there. That's the old fans. Those two fans are noisy as hell. When I turn on the computer, it's almost like you're standing next to a jet. And I measure the noise level. It's almost 100 decibel. And with the new fan here, before you install it, what you want to do is remove that clip. There's a little groove that clip on to the heatsink, so remove that fan, just pop it out. And the Master Cooler also give you the mounting plate, the one that I'm showing you there. And on the contact point, there's a little groove for you to align the spider leg. I'll call that spider leg. And once you align that in, all the screw holes are lined up, so just tighten the screw. And here's the new fan that go on top of the case. This is 120 millimeter. All the specs is on there. This thing rated 20,000 hours. The noise level is 23 decibel with 12 volt input. That's standard stuff. And I got the other one, different brand. This one also a low noise level fan. As you can see there, this is 11 decibel, 12 volt, and there's 900 RPM. Now my old fan, when I measure the noise level, it's almost 100 decibel. So this new fan claims to be, one of them is 11 decibel and the other one 23. And after I finished building this box, I measured the noise levels, and it's that level. So it's very good. It's very quiet. You actually have to pay attention to it to hear the noise. So here I'm taking out the fan from the box and then installing it. They give you the mounting screws, standard power connector, 4 pins and 3 pins. Now when you mount this thing, simple stuff, just line it up, do the zigzag mounting technique. That way you don't ruin the thread on the new fan. So if you guys work on your car before, same deal, the way you remove the screws and mounting the screws, same technique. You don't want to tighten it yet until all the screws are put in, and then do the zigzag and then tighten it one by one. Now after I install the new fans, next I'm gonna install the fan on the CPU, and this is when I realize it's not just a matter of popping in, popping out. I have to remove the old plastic mounting holes, as you can see there. Originally I would just say, pop out the old fan, pop in the new one, 5 minutes it's done. But it turned out it took me almost 3 hours to do this. And while I'm doing this, I also shoot the video for you guys, so that take a bit longer too, to line up the camera and all that good stuff. Now when you remove the old board from the box, just be careful where you handle the motherboard. If you're not careful, you can fry the components. As you can see here, I normally wear a anti-static strap, but for this video I didn't wear the strap. Here's the new plate. Just a matter of lining up the holes, put in the new standoff, all that tools they provided for you. And once again, the manual sucks, not helpful at all. So either you need to know how to do this, or you're familiar with building your own computer. Otherwise I wouldn't recommend doing it, because the manual doesn't help you at all. So here I'm just putting the standoff, and then put in the locking nuts, all 4 of them. And when that stuff is done, this is the thermal compound that they give me with the CPU fan kit. Although normally I would just put half of it on the CPU, but since this is the only computer I'm working on, so I'm just gonna put all of it. and you want to start at the center and kind of like make a coil, let it spread out evenly. Now time to put in the new heatsink, and just peel off that tape before you install it. So peel that off and then put it on the CPU. So when I put it on, you need to use this spider leg which they provided to lock it in. And from here, just a matter of lining up the screw holes and put all the screw in. Now this thing is a bit tricky, so once again do the zigzag when you screw it in. And here I'm putting the motherboard back in.
We want to do a cross pattern, so do it there and then do it on the opposite side. We don't want to tighten this yet, just put the screw in, then once everything all locked in, then we can tighten it.
And once you lock in the motherboard, just a matter of hooking up all the cables. So once again, unless you know how to build your own computer, I wouldn't recommend doing this. And this particular computer, I built it myself, so I know all the components. Here I'm installing the old graphic card. And here is a close-up view of the new heatsink. I just want to double check, make sure the new component is not in contact with the RAM or any other components, and everything looks good. Here's from the other side. And there's about 1/8 of an inch of clearance above the RAM. Next I'm gonna pop in the new fan. Just pay attention to the groove on the heatsink, and you want to put it on one side first and then just pop it in. It will lock it in place.
Make sure the clips on both sides clip onto this little groove on the heatsink. There's a groove on the heatsink here, and I noticed the heatsink just sit only about 1/8 of an inch above this RAM. But I get all the clearance. Here's the view from the bottom. You can see I got clearance there, and here's the memory. So clearance all around.
Now when I do this the first time, I make a mistake. I forgot to put the fan on there, so I had to remove the motherboard all over again, install the new CPU fan, hook up the power supply, and then mount it back into the box. Otherwise it's too tight, you could not put the fan in, and that's the reason why I had to do it twice. And the reason I put the fan on the other side so that the heat blow out through the top, and there's two fans on the top that will extract the heat. And the fan, the CPU fan, you can mount it on the top or the bottom. There's a groove that can handle it either way, and I didn't want to put it on the bottom where it blows the heat toward all the components. So after everything all hooked up, time for testing. And I'm gonna be quiet for a few seconds here. You can listen to the fan. There's absolutely no noise. Very happy with the new fans. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any question, you can write me below or drop me an email. And if this video is useful for you, don't forget to rate and subscribe.